Hi, welcome to Math 153 online. I just wanted to take a moment to give you guys a little tour around the course. If you open the course up, this would be your landing page. So I'm teaching sections W01 and W06. So um, I'm just going to use W01 here to do a little video, but the W06 section looks exactly the same. So here is our landing page. We have our welcome announcement. I encourage you to read that thoroughly about all the things in the course. But what I wanted to show you in this video is primarily under content. So let's click on content. And the first thing I would encourage you to look at is the syllabus and the course calendar. They have all kinds of information about the testing. The calendar itself has tons of dates and due dates week by week. Let me click on that. Here in just a little bit of a table format, we have week by week what lessons you're responsible for learning here, and then the graded assignments for the week with their due dates and so forth. So I would suggest printing this out or downloading it, having it somewhere easily accessible so that you can always check up on what's due from week to week. It's just 2 pages there, front and back. You could print it out, super easy. Right. Click on content again. Beneath syllabus and course calendar is the professor information. So this is just a little page, give a little bit of background, but what's most important, I believe, on this page is my email address, my mobile number. This is my cell phone number, so feel free to call, leave a message, or text message. I will pick up at normal times. If I don't pick up, I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also, my office hours are here. They're listed in the syllabus, but this is where they're listed with links to the Microsoft Teams where my office hours are held. So this link will get you directly into Microsoft Teams at the right time where I'll be sitting and waiting to answer questions for students and clarify things and such. Content again. And then what we're going to do is actually go down and take a look at how you're going to learn in this course. So I'm going to click on Unit 1 lessons. Now this is, Unit 1 contains, as you can see underneath, chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so it's over here listed. This is where you're going to learn. And so I'm going to demonstrate how this works. So click on that link down there. I don't know if I went too fast. I'll show you what I clicked on. Sorry about that. It's right under lessons 1.6 and 7 is our first lesson. There is a link here to the actual Hawks textbook that we're using, the online textbook that you can click on, and that's what catapulted me into this window. So Hawks has set up their learning materials in this format where you have a learn section, a practice section, and a certify section. And they're kind of rightly titled. That's what you're going to do in each. So if you want to learn the material for this lesson, you're going to click on Start. And it's going to bring up an ebook of sorts where you can mouse through and do some reading. Sometimes if it's a page where I've offered an additional example or two, or maybe in some cases you'll see videos that I've offered, then you'll see a split screen where you can read up here from what our author has. And I just thought, you know what, there should be another example here. So I offered one up with some explanation as well. So you'll see that on occasion. Here's another one of those where definitely some definitions and things we want to know, but I thought another example would be helpful in your journey. So that's how we learn. You can mouse through these. Here's a video, for example, that I made that describes what's going on above, if you'd rather watch a video. So that's how we'll learn. In this particular lesson, there are 6 pages. So we can exit learn there. And then, as I think is always important in math classes, is to practice. So you can click there and it'll give you an opportunity to practice some of the things. Give yourself a little quiz on the stuff you've learned. So you have some questions here, a lot of just identifying some concepts. I'm just going to grab an answer here, submit. It'll give you feedback of whether it's correct or incorrect. You can try a similar one if you think, okay, maybe I just guessed on that one. I'd like to kind of really solidify my learning. You can try similar. You can ask for the AI tutor that's offered through the book. And then there's another tutor button that's there. It's helpful, but just not quite as interactive. And then you can hit next and just practice a little bit and so forth. Completely, and you can skip over if you want in practice. You have that option to skip. So we'll exit out of there. So I kind of think of this as like when your teacher in your old school math classes would give you some exercises to work between classes. This would be that same thing here where you could practice. Now, for your homework grade in the course, you will earn those points through completing this third part called Certify. If we click here, you can get some questions that are pretty similar to the ones that were in practice. That's one of the incentives of practicing. So now you can go to Certify, you feel confident, and you can go through and work these 10 questions. Now notice there are no AI tutors here. There's no try similar. There's no skip. You're just going to work through these questions, these 10 questions in the order that they're provided, and giving your answers. I will say that you are allowed, if you want, in order to complete the lesson, you're allowed to miss at most 2 questions. And that's what the little 2 here means, is how many questions you're allowed to miss. And you still, even if you miss them, you'll still get credit for the lesson. And actually, you'll still get 100%. So if you can master this, that is, get 80% of the questions correct, then you get 100% for the homework assignment. So it gives you some little oopsies here with the 2. And this will fluctuate from assignment to assignment or certified to certified because different lessons have different numbers of questions. And you can, let's see, submit here, so forth, hit OK. I got one right. Say you have to stop, you can always save and exit so you don't lose your progress. So if something comes up, you need to readdress your attention to something else. You can always save your progress. And that is our ebook and our learning platform here for the course. I just wanted to point that out. And each week you'll work through several of these as according to the schedule that I showed. Before I finish this video, I do want to go back to our Brightspace course, and I want to remind you that there is a discussion due at the end of the first week of class. You click on discussions here on this top menu. It's just a traditional sort of introduce yourself kind of discussion you would see in a lot of online classes. It's due, again, the full discussion is due at the end of the first week of class, which would be August 31st. But I do want to point out that there is a small due date prior to that, which is by August 27th, which is a Wednesday. We want you to have put up your initial post. That is your initial post that you would put out there to the class by Wednesday, August 27th at 11:59 p.m. And we do that because it's important that people post early enough in the week so that then you have time to go back and forth and make comments, which is the second part of the assignment, on at least 2 of your classmates' posts by Sunday at midnight. So this just avoids everybody trying to do everything on Sunday evening. If I didn't put this sort of midweek due date in, that tends to be what happens, and so it gives people a little more liberty to plan their time to work beyond just a Sunday. So that's what we're doing, and this will be the case for all of our discussions. A Wednesday at midnight initial post deadline, and then the overall interaction with your classmates would be by Sunday at midnight of that week. So I believe that's all for now. Please feel free to contact me if you need anything, email, text, whatever you might need. I'm here to help. That's my job. I'm invested in your success and would love to help you with the course material if you find that you're struggling learning through the Hawks platform. I have tons of office hours that we can discuss the concepts. Yep. Hope we all have a great semester.